Hey everybody, my name's Chris. I am the self-proclaimed knife charlatan, and this is a breakthrough video for me. It is an opportunity to kind of get over my nervousness about beginning to make videos on knives, and I don't know, talk about myself, tell you about myself, tell you about my thoughts and my dreams, my ambitions. I already told you my name is Chris. I was born in Chattanooga, raised up. I went to college when I graduated high school at Tennessee Tech University in Cookeville, Tennessee. And then I started out in business, and then I realized that I didn't really like to go to business classes. So I kind of wanted to know, I thought about what would be the easiest way to get through college and get a degree. And what I came up with is that I thought I'd be an art major. And so I did not know that delving into the world of art took so much discipline and so much work. And so I switched over to be an art major, to pursue a Bachelor of Fine Arts within my, it took 2 semesters. So my second year I started out doing art, and then I quickly found out that it's a lot of hard work. It's also a lot of fun. It's also very rewarding, and I do enjoy that stuff, but I also found that I didn't necessarily fit in with those folks in regards to, I don't know, whatever meager philosophical views I have, or whatever, I don't know, just not quite right is all I can say. And so beyond that, I also was doing a lot of drinking. And I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but I was drinking a lot in college, and I just really wasn't that interested in education in general. I much rather drink and screw around and, not do stuff. So college was a long, hard road, and it took some time, but eventually I was able to flunk out. And at that time, I figured that I needed to get a job and do something. So I just decided to get a job, whatever job I can. My dad drove a truck. You can probably see in this video right here, I'm sitting in a truck because I drive a truck for a living. And I started out, I got a job at Budweiser in Cookeville and started running a route and delivering beer. And if you don't think you're cool now, you should just try and deliver beer. Everybody loves the Bud Man. And so that just continued on with my drinking career anyway. But I won't talk so much about that. But the point of it is that when I was doing the art stuff, I was into blacksmithing, something that I was interested or introduced to by my grandpa when I was, just a young kid. And it's something that I still am interested in, and I still like to do it. I have a little setup at my house that I can work a little bit. I don't do a lot of it. I don't do as much as really I wish that I did. But there's one constant, there's one common denominator, and that is that I always have loved knives. Always. Blades. Anything with a blade. Knives, pocket knives, folding knives, fixed blade knives, axes, hatchets, machetes, swords, lots of kids like to play with all kinds of destructive things you can get your hands on. But anyway, that's something that I really, really am passionate about. And I like to look at knife websites, and I like to compare the specs on different models. And I am into the different makers. I'm into especially, I grew up, and I think I'm about to name drop here, but I think the first actual knife maker that I can really identify that I knew of, and I knew his name. And not only that, I could look at the knives that were coming out of his shop, and he went to where he worked with Kershaw for a really long time. But Ken Onion is like the first guy that I remember being able to identify his knives and say, I look at that and I say, that's a Ken Onion design right there. And from that point, there were others. And it's just something that's grown. Right now, I'll tell you that Lucas Burnley is somebody that showed up on my radar in the last few years. And he's, I don't know how old he is. I guess he's something like my age. But I'm really liking the stuff that he's putting out. Rick Hinderer, that's another guy that I've looked up to, and I like his designs. And he's somebody who's designed with Kershaw. And then there's the ZT. And there, of course, there's, you know, Rick Hinderer designs, Jason Browse. There's just, you know, I can't name them all, but there are people who are influential to me because I like knives. And it's just cool. And so I get on YouTube and I watch these videos, and I watch folks like, I've been watching Gideon's Tactical, Aaron over at Gideon's Tactical for a long time. And I've been watching Chris Tanner at Prepared Mind 101. And I've been watching, you know, the Nut and Fancy Project. And he's into more than just knives, but knives is something that drew me into that channel. And lately I've been watching Taylor Martin over at Best Damn EDC. So there are these channels that are like spot on the things that I like. And I just think to myself, you know, I spend enough time looking at these items and looking at the models and the makers and the manufacturers and the new stuff that's coming out. Like right now, SHOT Show 2020 is going on in Las Vegas. And so I've been like, you know, like a kid in a candy store waiting to check the videos and check the posts, like people at, you know, Blade HQ posting that stuff. And they've got a great channel too, Blade HQ. I love those guys. And so anyway, like, you know, yesterday was Tuesday, and it was the first day of SHOT Show, and I couldn't wait to see what was coming out of SHOT Show. Blade Show in Atlanta, that's something. You know, I've been a subscriber of Blade Magazine for years and years and years. I could go home right now and take a picture. I've got a whole box, you know, I've got just magazines, Blade magazines just stacked up, because for one, you know, you may call it hoarding, I call it collecting, but it's just stuff I like, so I don't want to let it go. And, you know, I'm working on that. That's not here or there. It's just something that I'm dealing with. But anyway, so I thought to myself, well, I can make videos too. And then I thought, but it's kind of like taking selfies. There's a lot of people taking selfies, and I try not to be judgmental of other folks. I really do. But I'm going to be honest and say that sometimes I'm a little judgmental. I'm sorry. I don't, you know, I try not to hold that against you as a person, as a human being. If that's what you're into, if you want to take a bunch of selfies, then okay. I just know that when I see somebody taking selfies, I'm like, oh man, that's kind of embarrassing. I feel embarrassed for the other person taking a selfie, because I can see them and other people can see them. And then I think to myself, well, I don't want to be that person taking a selfie. And I just feel like that setting up a camera and talking to a camera is pretty much the same thing. So honestly, I feel self-conscious about it. And this is a video to overcome that. So here I am. My name is Chris. I have begun this project that I'm calling the Knife Charlatan. And I hope to continue to make some videos. I hope to show you some things. I got my knife that's in my pocket right now today. This is something that I got for Christmas from my beautiful, wonderful girlfriend. because she supports me in my knife craziness. And this is the Phillips Kapara from Spyderco. And this thing is awesome. I'm a sucker, just personally, I'm a sucker for carbon fiber. So the carbon fiber is sweet. I'm going to tell you that, let's see here. I'm going to tell you that this thing is slender, it's sleek, and it's very comfortable in the pocket. It's probably a little more slender than my big old hands. You know, I got I'm like Kurt over there at Blade HQ. I got ham hands going on. But, and if you notice my finger here, that was not knife related. That was motorcycle related, but that can be another channel. Anyway, so the Phillips Kapara from Spyderco is something that I've been carrying a lot just because it is super sleek. It's super nice, and it's carbon fiber, and it's smooth, but it's not slippery. And truthfully, I use it the most for dangly threads. I use it the most for I get dry. I wear leather gloves to work in, and so I get dry, cracked skin around my fingernails, and so I'll kind of whittle off the excess little pieces of skin. So I do that, and you know, I didn't think it through before I started saying this, but I also use it for food prep. I think Alistair Phillips, the Australian who designed this thing, designed it for the purpose that it's supposed to be, you know, kind of a food prep knife. It's like a little chef knife, kind of. And I think specifically vegetables, although I don't believe he's a vegetarian. But anyway, so I use it to cut up my kids' fruit. I got two beautiful, wonderful little kids. I have a boy who's 3, and I have a girl who's just about to turn 2. And they're probably the best thing that I have used my life for thus far. But anyway, I am happy to be a dad, and so I use this. I cut up their oranges. They love oranges, they love apples and bananas, and so I'm cutting fruit with this stuff. And truthfully, I'm cutting myself, you know, slices of cheese and what have you to eat, you know. So I'd like to say that I'm doing all this magnificent stuff with knives, but the reality is that I'm just a regular type of dude, and so I cut food, and I cut, you know, strings, and I play with my fingernails, and I do all that type of stuff. But I know it's probably some of you are thinking, so you clean your fingernails and you cut the skin around your fingers, and then you're cutting up your kids' apples? And the short answer is yes. Yes, I am. So, you know, judge me if you want. You take your selfies, and I will cut up my kids' fruit with finger knife. So, you know, we'll just agree to disagree, or whatever. Maybe you agree, maybe you do that too, I don't know. So we work on we'll work on the fingers. We'll do something like work on a car, and then we'll go and cut fruit for the kids. That's what we'll do. But anyway, thank you for watching this video, if you have actually watched this video. And I look forward to trying to, you know, put some more videos out there. I'm going to do some actual like review videos and just general discussion about these types of things, and kind of take it from there and see what happens. Hopefully I can delve a little deeper into the world of video production. Like, I notice these guys have pretty sweet channels. They do all these video effects, and it's super fancy, and you know, I mean, I want to do that too. So we'll see how that goes. As of right now, I'm just doing it on my phone, so I don't know, we'll see. But you know, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and don't be afraid to subscribe, because like I said, the intention is that I'm going to put some more out there. And if you subscribe and I happen to, you know, not follow through with this project, then you won't hear anything more from me. So what do you have to lose? But anyway, I think I've rambled enough, and you know, we'll see you next time. See you next time. Yeah. next time.